if you will, as we are traveling through this earth as a human being. But anyway, so let us go on and see what this card says. Let me see. You have allowed your emotions to get out of control. Well, who's controlling our emotions? If we are controlling our emotions, how would we know when they're out of control? What'd you just say, Paula? It sounded like you did some gobbledygook double talking. If we are controlling our emotions, then we would know when they're out of control. But if we are not controlling our emotions, and yet they are being generated through us, then we have no ability whatsoever to gauge whether they're in control, out of control, or whatever. Let me see. Not thinking reasonably and rationally, you are exaggerating the issues. I'm exaggerating the issues. Now, if I'm exaggerating the issues, and that's very possibly true if I saw two towers. Why'd I have two towers? See, I've done forgot. Why'd we have two towers? Oh, because we were flagged. All right. So we're exaggerating the issues. And if an issue is exaggerated, blown out of proportion, it's sort of like if I had a magnifying glass and I wanted to make it bigger so I could see it. So in my life, if I'm in an emotional rut, an emotional breakdown, an emotional catastrophe, then what is happening on the outside is reflective of something unresolved in me. It has nothing to do with what's on the outside, except to drive me within to see why I have generated this particular circumstance. Now, I'm not talking about the little I here. I'm talking about the seed I, the I am that split, okay? I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about this superficial personality that's inhabiting the earth plane. It doesn't have the power to generate out of control emotions or in control emotions, and has no idea what reasonable is. Okay. Your energy is spent trying to please the other, while filled with a sense of apprehension, fear, and dread. Well, I guess it is. If I am trying to please another, of course I would be filled with apprehension, because I don't know how to please the other. It is not my business to please the other. All that I have to do is to be real, to be authentic, to show up for my life, to be the God in the making down here on the earth. That's all I have to be. Pleasing another is impossible. You cannot please another person. I don't know what that means. To please another person, I promise you I don't know what that means. Let me see. But you're filled with a sense of apprehension, fear, and dread. Woo! Too much mental activity engaged in how the other person is feeling or thinking about you. Okay. Now, let me get this straight. Let me think about this minute, Betsy. Let me think. Now, I am trying to please the other person. And while I'm trying to please this other person, be he my boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, daughter, child, mother, boss, now I'm trying to please the other person. You understand? I don't know where I got the rules and parameters and everything inside of myself as to what I needed to do to please that person. I don't know where I got those from, but somewhere I got them. So I'm going to make them come to pass, and I'm going to do that to please that person. And while I'm doing that, I'm filled with a sense of apprehension, fear, and dread. Apprehension, I'm apprehending that maybe I'm not doing all I can. Maybe he or she won't like what I'm doing. Maybe I didn't do it enough. Maybe I did it too much. Maybe I don't like doing it at all and I'm doing it, damn it, because I want something from it. Maybe. And I am fearful of the results of whatever I'm doing. It won't meet to his or her expectations. How do I know what his or her expectations are? The only thing that I can possibly know is what's going on with me. That's it. I can think of myself as so exaggerated as to think that I know what's going on inside of the other person, but that's a friggin' lie. I do not know. So of course I would have fear and, what was the other word? Dread. Well, what about if what I have done does not please him or her, but insults instead, because I have overstepped my boundaries and I have taken it upon myself. See, pleasing means that you think you can help that person, make that person's life easier. Well, ain't you somebody? Who in the world do you think you are that you can help somebody? What you have done the moment you think you can help somebody is you've elevated yourself up here and put that person down there. You've stripped their ability to be human and to struggle like you do. Everybody has to struggle. Everybody has to do that in order to bloom. Let me see. Too much mental activity engaged in how the other person is feeling or thinking about you. You are not in competition. You are not in competition. Did you think you were? And if you were, who are you in competition with? That is a very serious question. You are not in competition. You see this little teeny yellow flower right here? This one right here. That flower right there, he's beautiful as can be, is not in competition with that one. And guess what? You see that one all bent over and not even sitting up? He's not in competition with that one either. He's not trying to do anything or be anything other than the flower. That's it. That's enough. He doesn't have a thought beyond being a flower, because that was the function of his being a seed flower to begin with. Well, that's all that you're supposed to be. That's all you are. No matter how much more you add to yourself in ideas that you are something special and different. You're not. You're a human being down on the earth with the rest of us chickens, scratching out. Okay, let me see. You're not in competition. Correct your infamous mind of those egotistical cries of vanity. Your infamous mind. Good gracious. You go on past that. Not only do you think you're special, you think that you're crowned special and that you have the ability to make the other person feel so good and so loved and so comforted. You really believe that. Wow, you're going to fill yourself with a lot of fear and dread and apprehension. It is flooded by falsities and preconceived notions. When the mind is disturbed by emotional turmoil, a gulf of separation results. A gulf of separation results. I think that would be the definition of split. Out of 81 cards, and this would be the one we'd pull. A choice has to be made. A choice has to be made? A choice has to be made? Well, I guarantee you, if a choice has got to be made, you're going to be trying to make it so it benefits you. You're going to be trying to choose the one that has the most pleasure and brings you the most joy. Now, how do you know if you choose that door? Where's that door? How do you know if you choose that door that you think is filled with pleasure and love and romance and delicious food and wonderful sex and lots of money and no fear of death and security and all of those things that makes you successful and attractive and well sought after? how do you know that there's not the biggest demon waiting behind there to devour you, just gobble you up? How do you know that? See what those words say? Enter at thy own risk. You don't know that. Because if you did know that, you'd have no reason to go through the freaking door. If you know what's on the other side of it, why you got to walk through it? Okay, a choice has to be made. Either decide to come back to yourself and be satisfied with your individual way of doing things, or remain forever locked in a prison of lethargy. You know, I did another show about laziness, lethargy. You know what lethargy is? I don't care. I don't know. Where do you want to go eat? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to wear? I don't know. If you don't know what you want to put on or wear, who's supposed to make that decision for you? Who is supposed to decide for you what your life is going to be or not be? You have to take some responsibility for doing the things that you don't want to do in order to do the things you want to do. What does that mean, Paula? You always throw those things in there that don't sound good. Oh, it don't sound good. Well, do you think that seed, when he got placed in the bottom of that pot, under that dark soil, in this little hard seed, that he thought that that was the place that he wanted or needed to be? Or that at some later point that he would bloom into this beautiful flower? He didn't know that. He didn't have any guarantee of that. And most seeds do not, in fact, bloom. Check it out. Okay. Division is directly responsible for self-defeat, self-disgust, and self-denial. Decide this day if throwing yourself away is worth it. Come back home. Okay, so you're throwing yourself away somehow. You are doing those things that are in opposition to your natural and convenient self. Instead of being real, authentic, you know, when you're real and authentic, you know how you know that? You laugh a lot. You laugh a lot. You laugh at the things that you think go wrong. You laugh at the things that people say that's supposed to hurt your feelings. You laugh because you're on a higher wavelength. You know, you're above that being in competition or being jealous or being grievous or trying to prove something. And most of all, trying to please the other person. Okay? That brings no joy. Now, Paula, are you saying that you're not supposed to give and be generous and, okay, I got to use this word really carefully, helpful. You can't be helpful. You can be helpful all day long and twice on Saturday, but not if you think you are. If it's just happening of itself, like the grass grows, then you're being helpful. But not if you think, I'm going to do this for this person, it's going to help her, and because I've helped her, and I'm so grand for doing that, I'm such a great person for doing that, and she's going to be better off for doing it. Get out of here. You don't know what anybody is supposed to go through, experience, or feel. You don't know that. All that you can do is show up for your life, be authentic, be honest, be your natural and convenient self, and that's the best you can do. When you carry that to the party, how about that? I like that. So that must be a party door. When you carry that to the party, you've carried all there is. Let's see. 8 and 16, 18. 26. 8. 8. 16, 18. The moon, and then you know this, I always tell you this, sex, death, money. Okay? Behind this door, behind this party, you are going to find the issues that are not resolved in yourself that have to do with your sexual nature. the matters pertaining to death, and how you are fearful of anybody dying, yourself included, and just how you feel about money. And on another show, you heard me talk about your ability to lie is connected to money, your sleep patterns are connected to death, and sex. Sex is how you approach and consume or deny food. So, and then behind this door, this lucky door, your mother, dead or alive. That's who's back there. These issues right here are directly related to her. So you got to work on them. You know, you've seen me on another show too about this. You know, this sign of infinity. I love this. This is relationships, and there's that conflict. It's also love, but nobody ever knows that love is conflict. And this is relationship. And these relationship, this number of relationship right here, which equals the 8, has to do with, because it is the relationship with what? Tell me what else there's a relationship besides your relationship with sex, your relationship with death, your relationship with money, your relationship with mother. All of these relationships are in this, and you continually, because you're on that wheel of fortune and you're continually moving, you never still. But you're crossing this abyss every time. You have the ability to drop those old, outdated, no longer needful and useful ideas on all those things, if you will. If you don't, you're going to take them back up top and they're going to be exaggerated. You will come to know how you are resolving these issues by how you approach food, how you sleep, and how much you lie. Okay? That's the party you're going to attend. Now, what else? Oh, I said I was going to come over here and see what this one was. What is this one? No, party. No. Oh, this can't be. Mitzi, if you could, I don't think you're going to be able to get it that small, though, because it's too small. Okay, anyway, here's what it says. You are invited to a party.